So today I want to share something of a little hack that's actually so important. And it feels just pertinent to share. I'm in a beautiful place in the Himalayas right now. It's spring. I went to a monastery yesterday. I just kind of got guided to go. And as it all unfolded, magical encounters happened, an invitation for an audience with a special yogi lama. And things that I didn't request came into being that have actually beautifully finished off this pilgrimage for me, but also have really given me the next piece of the jigsaw, just those final little nuances that actually make the bigger picture. And I am leaving so inspired and touched. And at the same time, we have some people requesting things and trying to rush us with things. We don't even know them. And I have learned so much from the Indigenous, especially women elders of many tribes, just about this concept of coming in the right way and not coming with our white colonial expectations and trying to push people in the timelines. And this is something that is going to be a really big issue in the coming times. And even what's maturing for me right now, I'm kind of excited about it, of course. And the irony, just like this trip to India, is that I have to wait a year just to even go to the place where this plan may unfold. And luckily, I have, over the years of just seeing the divine at work, I have a sense of beautiful anticipation of this because my whole India trip was similarly formed. I didn't even know, why am I staying in this place? Why am I going there? And then I met the highest wisdom keepers would come to me. People would give me special things. People would invite me. And it was because I chose to be in stillness and let the journey whisper me, really follow the divine guidance. And it's interesting because this card just I was just asking something today, and this card Ashwini, which is the first of the nakshatras, came up. And when I'm making this presentation, this little transmission, it's the fire horse year. And for me, I was just asking about this vision that came through. That kind of it was just the final tweaks, and suddenly I got it. And it's kind of saying yes, everything's going to move forward. But part of the problem with Ashwini and Fire Horse is that if you race too far ahead, you actually push outside of natural law and natural time. And this is a really big problem in the West where people are in a false yang construct. And it's where we get ill. It's where the irony is, if we really want to change the world, we need to slow down. And for me, this was like, yeah, there's forward motion. Okay, yes, because I was just asking, is this a thing? This vision? It's like, yes, I mean, this is like number one, something is activating. But I also know the caution is don't move too fast. And this is again, I'm like, I want to go to this place where this plan is unfolding. But they keep saying 1 year. We're showing you now, and now you have to pray and receive because I have noticed over the years the exact precision of. I've spent 18 years not having a mobile phone, and sometimes shamans have said, come and hang out. And then I try phoning them from a payphone. And this is in Colombia, and their phone's down. And I've just been like, okay, show me the thing that I've learned how to do because I've learned to receive. And I've just been guided into like really rich supermarkets in Colombia. They're standing buying their stuff, and they're from like 30 miles away, okay? And stuff like that, okay? And it's you have to go slow to receive. So I'd had, for instance, with this little trip I did to the monastery yesterday, I'd had these flashes of these bits of conversation that had come in like a month ago. And then suddenly I'm with this person who just makes a beeline for me and then invites me to this special place, which is linked to a being that I once saw in a video that I didn't even know was like that their mummified body was there. And then she arranged all these audiences for me. And we had this deep mirroring because the precision of slowing down and not rampaging around colonizing India. I took my steps and stops very gently. And each time there was so much the universe yielded because you need the spaces in between for the highest manifestations to occur. And this being, it was a great alignment, and we were like, wow, look at what our karma has brought us. And I'm so touched, and really things that she was being guided to say created the final bits of code for something I've been sitting on, feeling a deeper part of my life's dharma. And and it was just like sometimes we just need that final little thing. But if we're racing around, we'll miss it. Okay. It was just like the penny dropped. And it's like a few days before I leave. And we really need to give the divine or guru, if that's how you follow the divine. Some people will say this is an orchestration of guru. Some people say it's orchestration of the divine, or I've got the right karmic conditions. It's that gentle grace of really surrendering. And we have to go slowly, unless we're in a very deep purification. Like sometimes we have to do a lot of work very fast. We have to be pushed. Okay. And that's where we may do certain austerities or certain dharmas, which are really like, you have to go fast. We have to go fast and slow. Okay. Sometimes we have to push beyond what we think we can do. And actually, this project that's unfolding for me is taking me back into that arena of a very big vision. Okay. But I've had a time where I've been slow and I'm almost like kind of twiddling my fingers, going, what's next? I want to serve, but I haven't seen the thing yet. And I really, really want to honor all the grandmothers and elders who gave me those transmissions of true time. And just to share with you all, I mean, the universe has such miracles for us, but we have to slow down to be able to see and to land into them. And in these times where we really feel like we're in a massive earth shift, the irony will be that sometimes you need to go slower, okay? And this is also to do with our energetic body. So, when we are really only operating from the ego and the lower chakras, this, how would I also say, it's kind of self-absorbed ego wants to race ahead and just do it and not check in and not go through the appropriate channels. And when we're younger, we want to save the world. I get it. I was one of those people. And I still am, but in a slower, more accurate way. Okay. And I still have much to learn. So it's really important that we learn to actually feel a deeper truth, because a lot of what can be happening is spiritual hysteria, okay? And this will happen when people have these massive downloads. And actually, if we have not worked to cultivate and we don't know the power of restraint, we're usually only operating from the lower chakras, which are still going to create these very dualistic, chaotic projects, okay? And this has been a lot of my work with Dharma stars, is really fine tuning how to see the signs with something and how to respond to certain things based on years of working, co-creating very chaotic projects and working really hard and doing all that hard, crazy, push yourself work, which I think really created good karmic conditions for the next chapter, which is a lot more graceful. And so we all have to make sacrifices and we do have to work hard. And also within our own personal astrology, something I'll be talking about in the coming times is that we have periods in our life which are more about finding stability. And then we have others where we're going to meet our life's biggest challenges, which are where we're going to grow. And so we're not supposed to always be full steam ahead. That's actually unhealthy, right? It's unhealthy astrologically. It's not actually appropriate in the grand scheme of things in natural and cosmic law. Okay. So within even the ebbs and flows of our own personal karma and the way that unfolds, there will be times where we may find we're like the busiest multitasker of our life. And then sometimes it's like everything becomes very simple and slows down. But don't ever think that that period is it, okay? For me, it's like I know where my astrology is going. And I've been able to kind of go, right, it's a little bit slow this month. I should enjoy this, right? Because the bigger part of my life's work is coming. Okay. So if you're pushing when you should be resting, you can see how many people abide in chaos and create negative karma from pushing it in the wrong areas in life and in the wrong situations. So if we could all find that grace to start to drop in to the ebbs and flows of the yin and the yang, and if we also understand our own astrology better and how our karma is going to arise, we sometimes that actually even means that you really have to find your inner compass with that sometimes, because you may get advice from other people because of their style projecting onto yours at a certain time, and you have to reclaim where you are at that time and how your karma is unfolding. So I have, for instance, had times where it's really good to be pushed to the edge in terms of my endurance and stamina and to go, to break the ego through those sorts of approaches. Sometimes we have to break the ego by being so still and going to the void and nothingness that it works that way. Okay. So please understand that as well, if you are people who are feeling you want to work with Indigenous tribes, all of these things, you have to understand these people are busy really, trying to survive, okay? And to get the whole planet weaving together, when we talk about hard to reach groups, this is the people who are marginalized through culture or gender or sexual preference. There are many people who come just with their colonial ideas and push, 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 and haven't really landed with the true resonance of that relationship. And from years of working with many different marginalized groups, there's this terminology hard to reach. Hard to reach also means the work is going to be slower and longer. And most people are impatient and egoic. Okay. So if we truly want change on the planet, you have to slow it down because many people, their first language isn't English, and we can't just use big words, okay? We have to understand how they do things culturally. And we have to have the ability to really sit and listen to each other, not just come in with our grand, lofty ideas. And this requires a lot of observation, okay? A lot of showing up, sometimes showing up and showing up and not being anybody as well. So the more that happens, the more actually our own body reboots into truer natural time. And this is, if we want a change on the planet, it has to be in that speed, okay? Because otherwise it's false, okay? So I hope this reaches you well. I'm very excited, yet I'm not allowed to do anything just yet. But this allows me to go into the dreaming phase with it, and then we can read of people like Yogananda in Autobiography of a Yogi, and there were some points, that he would go into a kind of samadhi, a blissful absorption out of the monkey mind, and things would manifest around him that were perfect. Okay. And this is something that I've really learned from sitting in the mind stream of the masters, is that we can get a lot done by stilling ourselves, because these things just manifest, and the exact person you need to see will just be there exactly the moment you show up. Okay. And this is why stripping away from having a thing like a phone and just surrendering to that rhythm for 18 years really helped me to just have this precision. Okay. And it's not me, it's that I'm listening to the divine or to guru. I'm seeing the signs. And so I just really wanted to share with you how it lets me bask in the immensity of the divine plan, to be part of that and to just surrender into that rhythm. And I really just want to share that with all of you, because it's our birthright to tap into that. And that's where the fun really is. Okay. So I really hope this helps you to tap more into your highest dharma. Over and out. Ciao, ciao.